Okay, well, we're gonna get started. We're recording this presentation, so we're gonna share it with everyone at the end. And thank you for being here. You all know me. I'm Nadia Navarrete Tildo, and I'm here just to introduce our presenters today. And I just want to give a very brief introduction to what the Native and Specialty Crops Program is. And as you probably all know, that we promote native plants as a specialty crops, but we also promote other crops that could be used, create value-added products. But we are very interested in promoting native plant for conservation, but also for the use of people. This is our team. We have here Tiffany and Sage that will talk to you today. And we have 4 students. And the group is very international. We have people from Ghana, from Jamaica, from Colombia, I'm from El Salvador, and the rest is from the community. So it's very interesting and fun to be part of this group. Right now, I just want to ask for those of you, if you pray for a coffee that you see here. He just had a terrible accident. Unfortunately, in Colorado, in Wisconsin, he's in Colorado. So we're waiting to hear from about his health, but we know that he's responding to the treatment. But I don't. He was part of this presentation. He was going to present some of the results of the survey that he conducted with the vendors. So we're going to wait on that. But I think he is in good hands right now. We have, as you all know, in front of Allen Hall, the Native Plant Outdoor Lab, and also in front of Foster Hall, where we have this is a garden that was created back in 2009. And we have approximately 100, I would say 120, but we keep counting the number of native plants that we grow in front of our building. And it's gonna get really beautiful. You can see already that they're waking up. And we have the Finca Eco Farm right across from the market, where we grow also native plants, but also non-native plants. And we have what we call the Finca Community Garden. Next week, we're having a grand opening. We call it grand opening because it's really finally the final steps to create this garden. We started years ago, but it's finally completed. And Tiffany will be managing the garden. We also have Finca, what we call Finca native fruit plots, where we grow native fruit trees, including persimmon, elderberry, wild plum, etc. So later in a month or so, I'll be talking about what we have in all these places. I'll talk more in detail. So now, going down to the Lincoln University Farmers Market, it is under the supervision of this program, the Native and Specialty Crops Program. It was initiated, we're still in between 2010, 2011. At the very beginning, it was gravel. It was on gravel. And then later it became more a nice looking parking lot that became part of the market. And as you can see, we have pervious surface, and that was on purpose to control the water, to mitigate the runoff that came from the higher part of the parking lot. So this is all I'm gonna talk about the program. This is very diverse, and we have a lot to share. So right now, I'm gonna invite Tiffany to start the presentation, and then I'm gonna, and then followed by Sage. And also we have Josiah Hay here, who is a support, have been a great support of the market since the beginning when Sage came on board. So with that, Tiffany.
Good afternoon, friends. It's good to see you guys here. Taking up the chairs. That's awesome. Okay. My name is Tiffany Dixon, and I just started working full-time for Lincoln University. I usually think about Lincoln University once a year when I'm at homecoming. Now I have other hats, many other hats. I co-manage the market with Sage, who I kind of call my boss. I've learned a lot from him in the last little bit. Josiah helps us out a lot, and he helped us get our PowerPoint alive. We were having some trouble.
By any chance you have a microphone?
So,
Okay. You have to speak up.
Lincoln University's farmers market is open all year. The winter schedule is from November to April. We're open the first and third Saturdays, and our hours are 9 to 11. The summer schedule is May through October, and we're open during that time all every Saturday of the month. I want to take a opportunity to meet the vendors that are here. The slide has just maybe a third of our vendors here. We have maybe 25 or so from last year, and we may have more this year. If the vendors that are here don't mind just kind of introducing yourselves.
Okay. Ms. Liz.
What do you do?
Plants, I specialize in plants. It's very diverse.
And Lisa?
Lisa Day, almost farm. I cut flowers. So I have like this.
The flowers are a classic hit for sure.
Possible.
Check if it's recording. That's great.
Go ahead. I think I'm gonna farm an event this spring. I own Sash Necessities, which is Apache for their necessities. I do indigenous seasonings. So
I don't know if that's something.
On our slide here, we have Pippa Lesky. She's from London. She plays a fiddle and does some of her own songs. We have Cocoa Castaways, and they are people who make lotion and other products. May Benson does bread with her. She grinds the flour for her bread, so she makes healthy bread. Old McDonald's Farm, Sarah. She has goats and she makes goat soap and different desserts and jams and even eggs with the chickens. Debbie brings houseplants. It's a tradition that her parents did years before. Jeanette from Brennicke's Farm, she brings eggs in the winter, but during the spring, summer, she has lots of produce, okra and tomatoes, and she's really popular. JC Toys is new-ish. They do 3D toys, 3D prints of lots of dragon prints and holiday things that kids are kind of interested in. And then last but not least here, we have All About Lamb. And they're all about lamb. They have different products, meat products from the lambs they produce. We wanted to talk a little bit about the conference that Sage and I went to in Kansas City and Kansas. It was February 22nd, February 23rd on a Monday. We went to visit the KC Farm School. The KC Farm School is located in Kansas City, and we'll see a slide about that soon. And we also got a chance to visit the city market in downtown Kansas City and get a little bit of the history of that. On Monday, we had a class full of activities. The Missouri Farmers Market Association is a group of markets, market managers, and vendors that work together to make farmers markets around Missouri healthy and vibrant. They're also able to connect resources, which sometimes includes ourselves, to educational opportunities and advocacy for farmers markets. During our conference day on Monday, we had several breakout sessions and lunch. We got a chance to meet people who work at the Kansas City market and get a little more history and pictures and stories. We broke out into groups, which was really interesting, according to the size of a farmer's market, and we gathered together so we could talk about things that were concerns, things we could use help with, things we were having trouble with. We're also very educated in the safety of farms or farmers markets. We talked about crisis preparedness. We talked about food safety and compliance with the rules, and that was just things like we need a safety kit, we need to take CPR. It was quite a list. We also just had a conversation with different people who work in farmers markets as managers or outreach specialists or marketing. We talked about fundraising. We're here at Lincoln. We're just blessed that we don't have to run around raising funds, even though, other people are doing that for us. But a lot of farmers markets stand on their own, so they have to do lots of different fundraising. So it's neat to kind of hear some of their ideas. We learned about farm stops. That's kind of a pop-up farmers market. So it's kind of a table and some, fruit and vegetables in different areas that aren't, the kind of food deserts that could use some help with food. And that's becoming a new trend. This is a picture of the Kansas City Farm School. The Kansas City Farm School is located in Kansas City, just about 30 minutes or so away. These are pictures of Sage and I on the grounds. They have greenhouses, and I'll get a chance to show you the map. It is on 14 acres of land. They have greenhouses and orchards. They also have native plants and herb beds. They have a place for the kids to play, and it's just really, really interesting. They have chances for different age groups to work together. So different age groups, different types of people, and they do classes, they do camps, and a variety of things on their regular schedule. They have an area called a common ground, and in the common ground is where you can find, kind of like being in the quad at Lincoln, you can find a list of things that they have going on their calendar. They only ask, when we use that information, that we would let people know a little about the history. On their bulletin, they say that, 2,000 years ago or so, Native Americans were on this space doing a lot of sustainable agricultural practices that we are relearning, down at the finca and, in different groups that the sustainable farming is becoming popular. So just a shout out to the Cheyenne, the Comanche, the Wichita, and the Osage and Pawnee Indians. This is just a video of their greenhouse, kind of I guess a panoramic view. We went in February, so they were already their volunteers were beginning to plant the seeds and they were beginning to sprout already. But they used lots of, sustainable practices. They painted things that were old. They're using old wood crates, and they just kind of had the old being new again kind of a group. Couple of the speakers that I enjoyed the most. The first person is Master Scott Hall. He is the president and the manager of the Neosho Farmers Market. What I really enjoyed about talking to him is that I'd already listened to him on the Zoom, so it was nice to meet the person behind the picture. But they have a very cool website that we got some ideas that we may be able to use. It like moves, so it's not static. It's not here.
There we go.
Okay. That was it.
Don't worry, I got it. Let's see now.
So nice. What do I need to not touch?
Here. Just scroll.
Okay. All right, we liked it because it has events listed. It has the vendors and about the vendors listed. They have an application online and they have a calendar for all of their events. And so we thought that was pretty cool. We like to do a bio of our vendors and a web page, something similar. I skipped something. Okay. So in conclusion for me, what we learned is that there are, different components, different helps for farmers and farmers markets. The Farm Service Agency, the FSA, gives a voice to farmers who have been historically ignored and helps them get loans and to avoid predatory loans. We noticed that some farmers markets are bigger. There's one in Boonville by the gambling casino that is on lockdown. They're really serious about their security and what they're doing there. So they gave examples of things that we don't usually deal with around here. We also learned that we benefit from our local farmers and artisans and crafters as much as the reverse is true. Thank you, and say up.
Thank you, Tiffany. It's good to see you all. My name is Sage Jacoby. I've been managing this farmers market for around 2 years now, and it's been a huge learning process for me, but it's also been a great one too. It's been a truly unique experience to be able to help the farmers and the crafters in the community this way. I'm going to be talking a little bit about what we want to do coming forward later this year and into next year. And that starts with community education. We want to work more with the people from Cooperative Extension. So we want to invite them to have informational booths here. And we also want them to do workshops and even live demonstrations at our market. We also want to connect our vendors with even more entrepreneurial opportunities. We are in talks and working with our local business development center, which is on campus, to see if we can get them to come over later this year and share some information, give advice, share tips, anything that the vendors might ask for or need help with. And we also want to help the vendors connect more with Cooperative Extension as well. We have a lot of great resources here, and we want to help anyone that's interested in growing their business be able to take advantage of that. We also want to work more on the structure of this market. So now that I have help with Tiffany, and we're getting more help every day, we want to tackle more of the bigger problems that we have seen at the market. We want to work with Lincoln University to see about getting more benches, more chairs, more tables at our market, more amenities like that. We also are going to be working on more digital and physical resources and materials to hand out. Tiffany has been working with our communications department for making a new brochure. And we are in the works right now of a pretty large project that is going to be talking about all the vendors in our market, creating a handbook that we want to have online for people to have access to and to have physical copies of, that just talks about our vendors and what they do, what they sell, the histories at the market, and their history as an entrepreneur. We want to give a big shout out and a huge thank you to our agricultural communications department. They've been a huge help for us. Half of being a farmers market manager seems like just posting on social media, and they help a lot with that. Some of the people that we want to give a shout out to is Alex Gordon, who helps us by taking pictures at our market. We also have Alex Naughton, Sarah Davis, and Jenny Lawrence, who help us as well with writing our bigger pieces that we post. And we did not have pictures for all of the team at the communications department. So I really wanted to give a huge shout out to Misty Nunn, Katrina Sears, Braden Wade, and Lynn Holtapple. Lynn actually helped by putting together this next video that Alex Gordon took pictures for. So you may have seen that online. This is just the start of what we're wanting to do. These are some references of posts that have inspired us and media that has inspired us. Besides just shouting out all of our amazing vendors, we also want to provide more educational posts to the community. This involves more recipe cards. This recipe card actually is from the Kansas City farm that Tiffany was talking about, and it's elderflower fritters. If you want, you can see more of their recipe cards online by going to their website. And of course, we want to give a huge shout out and post online about all the workshops that we do as well. Tiffany is going to be doing a grand opening for the community garden next week. And we want to also help educate our community about important practices. This one is something that Dr. Nadia found, and it's just 6 late winter mistakes that can harm native bees. And these are practices that we try to look out for, and we want to help other people look out for. So this is something I'm pretty excited about. We're going to be introducing the Musician Appreciation Program. So we really want to help support our local musicians, and we want to help our atmosphere a lot, make it. We just love music at our market. It's an awesome addition to the atmosphere. So we're going to be introducing a way next month that musicians can get paid $100 for every Saturday that they play at. If you have a musician friend that you know, or if you are a musician, I might recommend taking a picture of this QR code. This is just a little sneak peek at the application that we're going to be sharing with our musicians. This will help us get reimbursed too from paying the musicians. All right. So, if you are interested in scheduling an informational booth at our market or hosting a workshop and getting a more hands-on approach with our community, or if you're interested in making a little bit more money by playing whatever instrument you're proficient in at our market, or if you just want to do some more cross-media, well, efforts with us, we can help each other out by sharing each other's audience and sharing each other's posts and working together on future events. If that sounds interesting to you, then please feel free to reach out to mine or Tiffany's emails, which you can see on the screen right there.
That you can pass the information
The
so people can sign up.
well, we do have this right here. It is, let me go really here really quick. So this right here is just our calendar. And if you're a specialist, someone who wants to do an information booth at our market, or if you're a musician and you want to let us know what times might work for you, thank you. Appreciate that. There's only 5 pages there, so
They can contact.
yeah, that's you can fill that out. Sorry, we don't have more pages for that, but you can always contact us and we'll work with you.
You have a phone there that gives you.
Yeah, that's the calendar right there.
I've been on my website, on my thing, that if I know like exactly what's happening with you guys about like I don't know, like a special farmer's market or whatever. Okay.
So, thank you for joining us for this presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them now. We'd love to answer any that you have.
All right, Sage.
Well, thank you for coming to this presentation. It means a lot to us. Please feel free to grab more snacks. And if you want, you can hang out a little bit. You can come talk to us after this presentation. And thank you for coming.
Let's see if we had any question online. Did you check if there's any?
Yeah, you can see here too, there's some here too. But they're not, they're already. It's the bring them. I don't know why, I mean, I've seen it in dark.
We'll have to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure that it will be. What do you say? You could even put it in this, change it. And I, not here.